Also, when you look at the imports, the profile of the imports that we've been having in 2017, there's a noticeable swing in that profile to where we are having an increased levels of importation of productive equipment in the basket of imports as opposed to just finished goods, reflecting that companies are investing again reflecting that they are investing in retooling. This has also had a positive impact on agriculture, as the benefits of deepening value chain has seen agro-processors now guaranteeing markets to producers in agriculture. In terms of new investments, in discussions with the plastics industry chairperson, we reported that 32 new companies, 16 companies in the last 24 months, 16 companies had closed down, but there had been 32 new companies that had reopened, indicating that the sector had actually grown. The good rainy season and the good crop output that we have had should create a strong base for the economy. We also acknowledge the role played by Command Agriculture, as also stated earlier. The communication channels between private sector and government have been strengthened, and several forums have been activated or revived, which allow for interchange of ideas with government. And some of these forums include, but are not limited to, the imports management committees, where the private sector is included, Zimbabwe steering committees, the rapid result initiatives. And we have recently seen the constitution of the boards of the National Competitiveness Commission and the Special Economic Zones, where the private sector is highly represented. This allows the private sector to have a significant role in charting the way forward for the country. To ensure this role is fully exploited, it is important that we utilize research and well-researched established tools to revive old companies which are still relevant. We also need to create new value chains and new companies in the economy. We need to leverage our Zimbabwean skills and talent within and outside the country to develop the country. We need to engage with countries that have successfully walked the path of industrialization under similar circumstances to ours. China and the visitors that we have with us from Turkey, Ethiopia, and India are examples of such countries who have walked or are walking down this road. If business was the sport of boxing, I believe we are punching below our weight level. Indeed, we have problems, but we also need to apply a lot of time and effort to develop and implementing solutions. It's an approach to separate out those issues that we can attend to with the resources that we currently have from those that we cannot, to those that we cannot attend to with the resources at hand. Low-hanging fruits will be those issues that we can resolve with the resources at hand. The key is in implementing identified sustainable solutions. SI 64 has shown us that what we can do with current resources under an enabling policy framework. We need to demonstrate that we can look after our own resources before we go and look for more resources from outside. What next? There are issues that are quite clear and are fundamental that we need to target. We need to balance our trade by continuing to reduce and to increase exports. Deepening of value chains can reduce unnecessary imports. Given that SI 64 only affected 42 tariff lines of over 10,000, when we look at right now, I'll focus on the issue of exhibition of products by CZI membership. We would also like to urge the CZI membership to exhibit at forums where we can showcase our products. Apart from this being a marketing opportunity, it presents that is exhibiting. It also makes it easier when CZI lobbies on your behalf when key stakeholders have seen the products that you manufacture at some of these forums. One forum where we are looking to participate is Zimbabwe Agricultural Show, which is organized by the Agricultural Show Society in the month of August. We've been engaging with the Zimbabwe Agricultural Show Society to see how we can collaborate. And the first day of the Zimbabwe Agricultural Show has been titled an Industrialization Day. So we are working with partnership with the Zimbabwe Agricultural Show Society and CZI and the Buy Zimbabwe Trust to bring this into fruition. We are also looking at CZI to establishing a youth and a women's desk whose purpose will be to assist with these two groups for groups formal entry into the manufacturing sector, and we'll also be looking at setting up a SME desk to help incubate SMEs into large corporates. One issue that we've been discussing has been the issue of currency, or maybe a bit on the rand issue. As you are aware, CZI is lobbying for increased use of the rand. But the other thought trails has also been that the government, by allowing the use of multi-currencies, has more or less played its part in allowing us to use the rand. So the ball is in our court as the private sector. It also encourage our customers to be using the rand, so that there is increased use of the rand in addition to the use of the dollar. Now, some issues that we believe could be requiring attention for us to move forward as industry. They are as follows. We would like to encourage the government to settle the arrears with multilateral institutions so as to move forward for foreign direct investments and for a rainy day. I will not do so because the amount is not holding value. We believe this is worsening the liquidity situation. There is also a need to deal with corruption and smuggling at the border, which is still depriving local industry of demand. It is no secret that Harare city center becomes livelier during the night from vendors who do not contribute anything to the fiscus. Processes to involve the industry are required in order to assist in management of this smuggling. As industry, we need to assure the market that the products that we are selling after we've been supported by government are also of top quality. We need to ensure that our products and processes are certified to Standards Association of Zimbabwe Standards. As CZ, we've also been encouraging our members to adopt process improvement programs such as lean management, so as to reduce waste and improve competitiveness and process efficiencies. We need to engage our academic institutions to drive research and development as well as innovation. We have a lot of reports of studies which have been carried out on specific issues but which are not being utilized. This is an area which we need to attend to. We also continue to lobby for improved relations with regulatory bodies such as ZIMRA and EMA. We need to have sustainable development where environmental standards and regulations do not become an impediment to development, whilst development itself does not damage the environment for current and future generations. On tax issues, we are, as CZI, we are assisting a number of members on tax issues which have been affecting them, where a number of issues have been affecting our membership. These include thin capitalization, transportation and value chain initiatives. We need to take the SADC industrialization areas of focus, which are mineral. I would like to once again to thank the respective ambassadors of Turkey and India for facilitating the attendance of the delegations from their respective countries to be here with us at this Congress. We will also have representatives of government and other stakeholders. We also have representatives of government and other stakeholders represented at the highest levels as indicated on our program. Key government ministers will be with us throughout the Congress, including Honorable Dr. Bima and Honorable Dr. Mpofu. As business people, let us utilize these opportunities to engage in meaningful government to business meetings. And just to give you as an appetizer as to say why we believe that this economy has got huge potential, I'll just go through an outline of some of what we are spending money on as an economy. From our import basket, we're importing about 200,000 worth of apples per month. We import about 7 million worth of wheat per month. We're importing plate glass for construction. We're importing auto glass. We're importing sanitary ware. We're importing tiles. We import about 500,000 worth of fruit juice for use in beverages. And we are only producing 50% of raw milk for our national requirement. We're importing about 200,000 monthly worth of potatoes. And we are importing about 300,000 US of groundnuts for local processing. We're importing about 3 million worth of soya cake per month. We're importing 12 million US dollars worth of soaked crude soya oil. We're importing 2 million of cyanides per month, 300,000 worth of cyanides per month, sulfate salt per month, 300,000 phosphate per month. We're importing 2 million worth of potassium chloride per month. We're importing 4 million worth of insecticides and herbicides per month. We're importing 3 million worth of paper per month. and we are importing consumer electronics and importing clothing and textiles. It will be noticed that a lot of the inclusions in this presentation that I'm making are referring to internal issues. This is deliberate, as I believe that we need to get to know ourselves very well and to understand ourselves very well and where our value lies. It is important that we learn to identify, need to focus on knowing our value. As we proceed with our deliberations, I ask that we adopt some guidelines which were shared in the last year by past President Moyo, which I believe are still relevant. In our deliberations, we need to have creativity, entrepreneurship, and intrapreneurship. We need to have
some of the progress, key interventions achieved, the progress and the impediments that we still need to tackle to unlock our economic growth. Thank you very much. I will now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to invite our guest of honor, the Minister of Industry and Commerce. He really does not require much introduction. He did spend most of his working in the private sector until he assumed, he became Member of Parliament for Chikomba West constituency in 2008 and became the Deputy Minister of Industry and Commerce that same year. And I think he assumed the position of Minister of Industry and Commerce in 2013 and has been very accessible to all of us. We have worked with him in industry and as a policymaker. He has continued to be very accessible to all of us. But for the benefit of our guests, I thought I should just give you brief background to thumbnail sketch to our guest of honor. So without further ado, I would like to thank you, Dr. Bima, for making the time to come and join us over the next couple of days. And I'd like to invite you to come and